What's up, guys? Today, today I'm gonna show you guys almost everything, nearly, maybe 60%, 50%. Uh, some of you guys might know me as Turtle Trader 69 on TikTok. That's where I mainly post. I haven't been really posting on my YouTube, but I'm gonna be basically showing you how I bottom tick all my trades. Uh, Simply just look through my TikTok, all my executions are there. Every single execution, every single trade I take is uploaded. Break even, loss, win. And I made a post maybe a couple months ago where I'm taking in mentees, right? Um, and I've got a couple students under me. When was this posted? This was posted the 8th. So what is that? August or something like that. And yeah, I'm gonna basically giving you guys an update, just to show you guys a few executions. I don't know. TikTok on PC is just absolute ass, but I recommend just searching me up on TikTok and just looking through my executions. Right, all my trades are bottom ticks essentially. My stop loss is no more than 10 points. That is my fixed stop loss. Okay. Now, how do I do this? All all credit goes to this guy here. Now I trade something called Goldback, and you guys can go on this rabbit hole yourself. I highly recommend read both his books. But essentially, all the ranges on the market are predetermined. Okay, so what do I mean by that? The ranges, the Goldback ranges are all mathematically calculated, right? And they're all fractal. So essentially, most of the time, I'm using the 243 range. Okay, sometimes I'll use the 729 if it's a larger range day, but most of the time it's 243. If it's a lower range day, it'll be 81. And you always want to have half shift on. Okay, so this is how I get my levels. This is how I get my directional bias, and it makes it very mechanical and easy. Now, there are some people teaching this on YouTube, but it's not. It's too overcomplicated, and it's honestly it's shit, right? Now, I'm gonna show you a couple examples. Okay, just a couple examples. So honestly, we'll reverse engineer my executions, right? So we can have a look at this one, please, if it'll load. Oh no, this was 2 break-even days, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, when was this? This was the 5th of the 9th. I'm not that good with my months. I don't know when the 9th is. September. So 5th September. Let's go to the 5th of September. Friday. And I'm pretty sure I took a long here. Maybe a short. But you can see already, right? So whenever we hit these levels, the extension level or this level, the high or the low, I will consider that the high of day being made. Okay, so if we hit this level, I'll consider that high of day. You can obviously see we've ticked it, right? So once we tick that and we expand out, I'm bearish for the day. Now we hit this during New York at 9:30. So, and you can see we had a turtle soup right there. Yeah. And then what can you do then? You can look for continuations. However way you choose to enter. Let's just look at it from a higher time frame perspective, right? We won't get into entries. Now, the way I trade, uh, I used to be a turtle soup trader, even before Goldback, right? And turtle soup works perfectly with Goldback because turtle soup is the start and end of every single move. So here we had a turtle soup right? And we expanded. Essentially, every single continuation soup will work if it's in discount. So here we swept the low, it's in discount, it's a valid long. Same thing here. We get into premium, but then we dip back into discount. So this soup is valid. Technically, this is the liquidity pool we used, right? And that's where you'll look for your entries. And you can combine this with the opening price. So midnight, it's opening low from 1800. Not necessarily, but yeah, it's an open consolidation low high close. And I highly suggest you look back on your charts and see this work out, like, because it's pretty fucking accurate. Has this loaded? No. I guess TikTok is just absolute shit on the PC. Let's go to the week prior. So on Monday, what did we do? We had a soup in discount. Now again, if you shift the range up, right? We didn't necessarily hit the level. Maybe on ES it did. It went lower, but the fact that we hit the low level means that it's valid, right? Because we had a turtle soup inside it. On Tuesday, I mean, this looks really ugly. I won't even look at that. And then what happens here, right? So it all depends on what your range is, because both of these ranges are valid. If you're looking at it from this perspective, we had a soup in premium, so looking for a short here is valid. This day, this is like a consolidation week, so I'm not even really going to pay attention to that because you don't really want to trade inside a consolidation. So if we go to 243, I was on the 729, I didn't realize that. Go on the 243, we had this here, right? So we made the high of the week here. Why is it not showing me? Here. And again, right, we need to shift the range so it fits into price. And this is something you will understand as time goes on. And ranges are fractal, right? So this is the 243 range. If we go to the 81, this will actually hit the extension level. So if we shift it up to fit this piece of price action here, this is a valid entry, limiting this level right here with a 5-point stop, 10-point stop, whatever. And then going on a higher time frame range, targeting EQ, right? That is the simplest thing you can do. You always want to be trading from premium to discount, discount to premium. So on a 243 range perspective, EQ is here. So you can target that, or you can target the swing just below it. That's fine. That's safe, right? Then what did we do? We expanded down, we consolidated, which is what? A continuation signature, because we just had an expansion. Then we had a soup in premium. So what is that? A sell program. And you can see we sold off and we completed the range. I highly suggest you read the books because it will make more sense. Goldback goes back to hundreds of years. It's a mathematical conjecture. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's by Christian Goldback. But Wednesday, right? This is now potentially the high of the week. If we shift the range down to Monday and Tuesday, you can see we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. We didn't hit any of the levels, so there's no high week or low of week yet. But you can see how it's very easy to navigate the market. Soup and premium, we expand down. You can target EQ. And then we had a soup and discount, and that starts the buy program. And then as we expand up, we can shift the range up. So for this day, we shift the range up. Let's go on the 15. Yeah, we hit the EQ. We start this violent retracement. I mean, then technically you could shift the range back down, but again, this is kind of sloppy because you always want to identify liquidity pools. That's the most important thing. What is the liquidity pool you're going to use, right? And it needs to fit the range. So this is the highest A plus setup. Okay, we have a range, and there's no liquidity pools here. Or let's say there's only one liquidity pool, and this is the only liquidity pool in discount, right? Let's say 930 opens here. If we come down, we sweep the only liquidity pool in discount. I'm taking that long because that's all there is for price to do. There's nothing. There's no reason to go lower. The low of the range has been made, right? There's really nothing else for the algorithm to do but to go up and search for buy side. Okay, another scenario, and I want you guys to find all these scenarios out on your own. I'm only going to give you two. That's the first one. Second one is this. There are no liquidity pools at all, right? And let's say price opens here in premium. I'm going to be using this EQ level as my level. I could simply just limit this and then aim for this or whatever liquidity pools there are. So it looks something like this. And I'll give you some examples. If I go to my journal, actually, my Notion, I can't remember. It'll be in my executions channel somewhere. These are all, oh yeah, it's probably better I'll show you the executions here, so gotta be careful not to leak anything. So here, bottom tick entry. Same thing here, top tick entry. Here's the execution. My good friend Christian, 500 tick trade. I can show an execution here. And every entry of mine is a turtle soup entry in one form or another. This is probably the craziest entry I've gotten. What was I going to show you again? I forgot. Oh yeah, liquidity pools. So your 1 hour liquidity pools are the liquidity pools you're going to prioritize. So I'm going to prioritize that more than a 30-minute, than a 15-minute. And if you follow that logic, right, if there's no 1 hour liquidity pool, then I look for a 30-minute one. If there's no 30-minute one, I look for a 15-minute one. Now, again, I'm not telling you everything here. I'm giving you the core basics of this model. Okay, so I'm not, this is not the whole thing, but from what I've told you, you can do a lot with it. Okay, simply just journaling, backtesting, forward testing, you'll be able to find out a lot of things. So here's another example of the low of day being made at the extension level. So then we want to look for longs, right? So on the 1 hour, if we're looking for a continuation of this low of day, there's no 1 hour liquidity pools, right? There's this one. I guess you could argue, but realistically, in hindsight, it was this FEG. And on a low time frame, it'll be a liquidity pool. So if we go to 30-minute, it's not a 30-minute low, maybe a 15-minute low. Not a 15-minute low, so maybe a 5-minute low. And again, I don't really like using 5-minute liquidity pools. I would rather 15-minute and above, But you can see this was the liquidity pool we used, right? And then we expanded. But it's as simple as that, guys. And again, as price goes up, you move the range with it to fit price. So if we look at Thursday, what's happening here on Thursday? We had a soup in premium, right? Technically, this is the soup. Then we expand down. How many points? I mean, this is a crazy big day, so I'd go to the 729, probably fit better. So this is, I want to fit it right to this day. So here's better context. Premium, we soup, we come down, then we soup in discount, we're bullish. I've given way too much, but study hard. I'm probably going to get 20 views on this video, so the 20 people watching this, you found a gem. And if you want to join my Discord, it's not open to the public. But if you want to join and you seem trustworthy, just add my Discord. Yeah.